For the first time our reel went viral, and if so, can you describe to me what you felt in that moment?
I got the biggest high in my life. Like it was a dopamine rush. It was crazy. Like every time I saw someone liking the reel or saving the reel or the views increasing, like I remember us posting it at night and the next day it hit millions. And I was just riding this wave. I was like, yeah, on top of the world. This is
Yeah.
it. This is everything.
The numbers were going up on our follower count. It went from like 200 to 500 to 1000 to 3000 to 5000 people. Like, it was crazy.
It was crazy.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel and our podcast. My name is Prachi.
And I'm Harsh. We're partners in life and business. We've spent the last 4 years growing online, monetizing on Instagram, and turning our personal brand into a full-time income.
That's why we want to share all of our knowledge with you, because we feel like this is gatekept from a lot of people. They don't really realize how this industry works, how the content creator economy works. So we're here to let you know from the inside how this all works.
So if you've been looking for the real behind the scenes of being a content creator, building your own digital products, or building something that lasts, you're in the right place.
So if you're new to our story, you don't really know who we are or why we're giving you this advice, let me just tell you, we started creating content in 2021. Didn't use any of like our previous personal accounts. We just started a brand new account. Within 40 days, we hit 10,000 followers. Not even kidding, because we had like 3 or 4 reels go viral in those 40 days, and they brought in 10,000 new people, brand new people who'd never heard our names before, to our content, to our page. And then within 3 months, we hit 50K. And then within 6 months, I think it was like 5.5 months, that we hit 100K. So we went from 0 to 100K really, really fast. We know what we're talking about when it comes to virality. So today we want to answer one question that I think is going to change the game for a lot of you budding creators out there. The question is, are you ready for it? Would you rather go viral once, and by viral I mean like mega crazy, mega viral, or would you create a community of people that lasts 10 years?
Wow, that's such a good question. And I think everyone is confused on this one.
I don't think everyone is confused. I think people would rather go viral.
But that's where the confusion
That's
is.
where the confusion
Yeah.
is.
If you would have asked me this question in the start of our journey, I would have also said virality.
Yeah.
But I think within the first year or so, I realized that it's not about virality. It's about the community.
Why do you say so?
Because virality is such a short-lived feeling. It's like fame, basically. Your movie became a hit and people will see you on screen for a bit. But after that movie fades out and another movie releases, you're kind of forgotten.
Yeah.
And that's when you really want your community to stick along with who you are, your ideals. After the whole virality part goes away, there are those people who stick along for your values. And I feel that's really important.
I think let's clarify what community means and community building means, because I feel like so many people who are starting Instagram, they don't really even think about community or their audience. They're always thinking about me. They're like, how can I gain fame? How can I make money? How can I go viral? How can I,
That's
you know,
true.
whatever. It's all about me. And nobody really considers like who's actually consuming your content on the other side of the screen. So let's talk about community building. Let's break it down. Let's talk about why we would rather build a community that lasts 10 plus years rather than going mega crazy viral once.
Firstly, this is something that you have to understand, is that every like, every save, every share that you see on Instagram is an actual person behind the screen. So every time you see someone engage with your content, there's an actual human being looking at your content and feeling something or getting some value in their life, and that's why they acted upon it. And that's your community member. That's the person who decided to take action from whatever intent you wanted to create.
Yeah, and people, I guess, don't seemingly realize that those likes and numbers mean a thing. They just sort of look at them as numbers, as data, which it is, rightfully so, but then it's also real human beings. So I know your stance on this whole virality versus community aspect, but let me ask you this. Do you remember the first time our reel went viral? And if so, can you describe to me what you felt in that moment?
I got the biggest high in my life. Like it was a dopamine rush. It was crazy. Like every time I saw someone liking the reel or saving the reel or the views increasing, like I remember us posting it at night and the next day it hit millions. And I was just riding this wave. I was like, yeah, on top of the world. This
Yeah.
is it. This is everything.
The numbers were going up on our follower count. It went from like 200 to 500 to 1000 to 3000 to 5000 people. Like, it was crazy.
It was crazy. And yeah, that was that first feeling, that the first time you drink a lot and you start getting that buzz. I think that was the first dopamine hit from Instagram engagement for me, at least.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, keep giving me more of this. Keep showing it to more people. This is amazing. I can feel that excitement right now as I talk about it.
Yeah, no, I remember. Even like our friends and family would send us screenshots of like, oh, look, your reel hit 1 million, or like, oh, look, this happened. Those initial few days were so crazy. Like, the energy was palpable.
So yeah, I was riding that wave big time.
Yeah.
I was pretty much enjoying it.
Now, let me ask you, how do you think that virality led to where we are today? What do you think that happened because of those, viral reels?
For me, what happened was I got humbled because I got so addicted to the dopamine hits when everything got viral. Then after a couple of months, when things were not getting viral, and when instead of hitting 1 million views, they were hitting 100,000 views or like 500,000 views, imagine. And my brain or my heart was like, what is happening? Why are we not creating good content? And when I started seeing that, I went very low. It's like how high I went, equally low I went. Basically, what I learned from virality is that in that moment, I cannot get addicted to this. Because firstly, this is not in my control. This is an algorithm decided based on how people engage with my content. It's not completely on to us on whether it's going to perform great or not. Because we can look at the data, we can look at the analytics, we can create amazing content.
Yeah.
Maybe something doesn't work out and the content doesn't go viral.
So we know what we're talking about when it comes to virality. And answering this question now our answer is very much different to if you would have asked me also this question 4 years ago when we started. I think 4 years ago, I would have said I would rather go viral. I would rather have like 1 million, 2 million, 3 million people view my profile rather than like be committed to slowly and steadily like a tortoise build a community of people, because I don't think I realized at that point in time like what a community meant, which is what I want you guys to now understand, and don't make the mistake that we made. Understand the importance of community and like people who watch your content, because those people, like those real human beings, because once you start understanding that, you'll have so much more leverage in the marketplace. But if you're only just chasing virality and numbers, then you'll only get so far and you'll only monetize in a certain way. So even though we, had like such a crazy rush of like incoming new followers, 10,000, 50,000, 100,000 people within 6 months, it did change our life. The virality did change our life. We get to sit here and talk to you about this now because that happened in our history. But I don't think that's the norm. I think that was an anomaly.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be the norm, and it doesn't need to be like that's the only way to growth. Or at least I think, this is my assumption, that a lot of people out there assume virality is the gateway to being a creator, which it is not really. Virality, like how the algorithm is also working right now, is it's giving everyone an equal chance. So like even if you just started creating content newly and you put something like for a couple of weeks, there's a chance that you might get a content piece that goes viral, and there's a chance that people will come to your profile.
That's the same chance with someone who has 1 million followers already, that the content they make can go viral. So you have the same chance as someone who already has 1 million followers. So there is no like, oh, but you're already so far ahead of me in an instant. That's what virality brings you.
Exactly. But I feel the main difference is once your reel or any content piece, say a carousel post also, goes viral, then when someone clicks on your profile and comes back to your profile, and then they see that, oh, this was a one-off hit wonder.
Yeah, like I come back to this profile, there's nothing. It's like a photo of your grandma, photo of your dog, and like random.
Like a personal diary.
Yeah, personal diary is what we call it. Yeah, it's random stuff like, why do I follow you? There's no point. So yeah, you got that crazy number on your profile, and now you can take a screenshot of it, put it on your story, and celebrate it. But what does that amount to?
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything,
Exactly.
really. It's nothing more than, and I have to say it out loud, an ego boost.
Yeah.
I got a reel that went viral. It's just an ego boost. What do you do with those views? Did that convert to people hitting the follow button? Did that convert to people purchasing a service or a product that you offer? Did that account to something that you're trying to create? Anything.
Like, did you change someone's life? Did you make more money? Did you do something really nice for someone? Did
it actually have an impact?
Did it make any sense apart from just giving you a number and an ego boost, like you said?
In full honesty, going viral is great, and
but it's not what people make it out to be.
Yeah, it's not all that. It's great if you have a plan, if you have a strategy to grow your community.
And going viral is part of that strategy to grow your community. Then yes, go viral. But apart from that, it's really nothing.
Yeah, like you can sit right now, we'll give you 2 tips to make a viral reel. You'll make it also and you'll go viral. But then what with that?
Yeah.
Like, why did you create a dance reel which went super viral when you wanted to create content on fitness or meditation?
Yeah, or like, why are you following random trends just because everyone else is doing? You're just like one fish in the sea then, if you're just doing what everyone else is doing and going viral on the back of that.
We are not saying we are perfect. We have fallen trapped to the whole virality scene.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, we have done our own pieces of trends and things which are so irrelevant to the category we were creating content in. And we realized that even though those things were becoming viral and like a lot of people were coming to our profile, it was not accounting to anything.
Yeah, like the number of followers that we would get from a reel that had 5 million views was so much lesser compared to a reel that was, that had strategy, that had thought behind it. And if it only had 500k views, we would still get more followers from that reel than a reel that went viral on the back of a trend.
Absolutely. So yeah, I think I'll just keep circling back to the fact that community is the direction to go. And
let's talk about it. Let's talk about community, why that matters. matters. Okay, I heard this story the other day. I was listening to a podcast and they were saying like how if you bring a streamer and a really popular other kind of YouTuber, actor, influencer, whatever, into a stadium, you are going to hear more cheers for this streamer than you're going to hear for the actor or whatever. Because the actor, influencer, whatever, they're very, very niche, small. And because the streamer has, like, they have spent like hours in front of the camera and people are watching that. They're watching like you fight with your mom. They're watching you eat ramen. They're watching you play video games. They're sharing that, you know, lonely, empty space that they're probably in their house with you. And they're doing that for hours in a day, every day, 365 days. Who do you think you're going to be bonded to more? The streamer or some random person you saw on one reel one time or like one movie one time?
That's very true. That trust, that loyalty really comes when you're completely candid with the person who's watching the reel.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. I think that's
like
a great
that depth
example.
of connection that you build with someone is what builds community rather than, you know, just following trends or making like these really crazy reels or dance reels or whatever. Like that's not going to build community. Because another example I heard from this same podcast is like of Drake versus Rihanna. So Drake and Rihanna are really popular singers, pop artists. I think Drake is more popular than Rihanna. I don't know what their like YouTube subscriber counts are, but Drake's is, I guess, higher. If you look at their bank accounts, Rihanna's a fucking billionaire and Drake is not, because they did something with that attention. Rihanna did something with all the attention she was getting. She converted that into her Fenty Beauty empire and she was able to make lots of money out of it, versus Drake is still just doing music, dance videos and whatever. Maybe he's happy with it, no shit to Drake, but like just the example of like how if you are getting the attention, what are you able to do with that attention? Are you able to convert it somewhere? This is what we were saying earlier. Are you able to make money from it? Are you able to change someone's life? What are you able to do of all of these millions of views? Because the views mean nothing.
The views mean nothing. When someone who watches your reel or content or your profile meets you in person and tells you that I saw that reel and it changed my life,
Or I saw that YouTube video. Actually, no one's going to say I saw that reel and it
Yeah.
changed my life, because the depth is just not there on
Yeah.
Instagram. But with YouTube, with podcasts, with streamers, like longer form content, yes, there you will say you changed my life. Like even if you think about like who are your favorite like creators, who would you say?
right now, Diary of a CEO. Steven.
Exactly. He does long form content. You get to see him for hours rather than just a minute on your phone. And because you see him for hours, you have this sort of like now, it's called a parasocial relationship where you feel like they're your friend. That only happens when you build deeper, longer conversations, longer form content. And that's what builds community, which you can later do something with rather than just chase vanity metrics on Instagram or TikTok.
Some keywords. Vanity metrics. That's the first time I heard of it. But it makes
Vanity
sense.
metrics?
Yeah. Like I know what you mean, but
Yeah.
it's the first time I heard metrics and vanity come together.
Yeah, they are vanity metrics,
like,
no?
yeah, you just feel good about it.
Yeah,
Like
but
so
like
many
it does
views.
nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe for some people, the views, that ego boost, that kick, that vanity metric really matters. If that's what makes you truly happy, then go for it, chase it. We're nobody to tell you don't do it. Just from our point of view of someone who's making money off of content, who's able to fund this crazy lifestyle that we live of constant travel, we can tell you from personal experience, someone who's had the metrics and also had the community, that feeling of like hugging a stranger and them thanking you from the bottom of your heart because you helped them through a tough period, or like you helped them do something, like that is so much more worth to me than like the numbers on our Instagram profile.
No, absolutely, absolutely. I just remembered a story from our life. This is very recent, actually. The community that we have built is so tight knit and so trusting with us, and so like in our lives, like so involved with our lives. Is that when we were traveling in Europe recently, a fellow community member invited us to stay at her place.
Yeah.
We had never conversed before that.
We'd never like even chatted on DM. She was an absolute stranger, but she said, "Hey, I know you guys are here and you're coming to this side. If you want, my house is empty and you can come and stay there."
And that trust was only built because it started here, right?
Yeah.
Like we started sharing our lives and who we are completely openly the way it is. And the person on the opposite side was like, "Oh, I relate with Prachi and Harsh. These could be my people. Let me go hang out with them for a bit." So small things like this go a long way. So yeah, like the community angle is so crucial. All right, let me ask you this really fun question. Say that in a hypothetical scenario, Instagram shuts down tomorrow. Who do you think is going to survive that? The viral ones or the community builders?
Of course, the community builders, because everyone's going to forget the viral ones because there is no connection, there is no depth there. I have only seen you dance to the same song that 100,000 other people have also danced to. How are you going to rebuild that from scratch if that whole platform shut down? No. But if you have a community and you have their emails, you have their numbers, you have them on different platforms, you've contacted them different ways, you've stayed in touch just beyond Instagram, then you will be able to rebuild anything. That's why we are also not scared of the fact that if Instagram shuts down, or like what if the creator economy collapses, or what if all these what if scenarios don't scare us. I don't know about you. I don't want to say for you, but I'm looking at your face and it looks like maybe it scares you.
No.
But it doesn't scare me because I know like we'll be able to start this from scratch tomorrow and be just as successful.
Absolutely, absolutely. I just want to add one more technical thing to this is that in the startup industries, in businesses, data is king. And as Prachi mentioned, if Instagram goes, then like it makes no difference because we have data with us of our community members, their email IDs, numbers, names. So that goes a long way.
Yeah, we can contact them beyond just Instagram and we can stay in touch beyond just Instagram.
Yeah. So if I had to give you like one more tip, if you're just starting off your journey with content creation on YouTube, on Instagram, on any other platform,
Build that email list.
build that email list. Emails are a gold mine.
Yeah, we learned this way too late.
Way too late.
Way too late. And this is like one of my only regrets is like we didn't start doing this earlier. So if you're just starting out, don't wait until get big to start collecting people's emails. Start doing that now because seriously, you will thank yourself in the future one day and you will thank us in the future one day because we gave you this advice just as we thank the people who gave us this advice.
Game changer.
Game changer.
Yeah, I think that's the perfect place to end this
Yeah.
podcast. We hope that you enjoyed this and this was really fun to talk about.
Yeah, this is really fun to talk about. We'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think? Like virality versus longevity? Let us know in the comments below. And please stay in touch. Please subscribe to our channel. That really helps us. Find us on Instagram. We're always posting daily updates on there if you want to see more behind the scenes of our lives. We'd love to have you in our community. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
See you.
Bye.